For the last few years, I have been traveling around Europe with this car, for which I had created a system that allowed me to fit a bed for 2 people inside. This system was getting too small for us, so I sold the car and I bought a small van. I decided to buy the NV200 from Nissan since its dimensions would allow me to use it both as a camper and as an everyday life vehicle. Inside, I could put drawers, a battery system, an interior table, cabinets, clean and grey water tanks, a sink that can be converted into an outdoor shower, a chemical toilet, and a sofa that can be converted into a double bed. All this while preserving the capacity to carry from 2 to 5 people. If you want to know how I did all this, join me in this series of episodes where I will detail the entire process. The NV200 comes by default with a roof made of cardboard and fabric that, despite being quite nice, does not allow you to take advantage of all the height that the van offers. In a MicroCamper, every centimeter counts, so we decided to remove it. The standard roof is held into the van's metal roof by plastic elements that were easy to remove with a simple pry. As you may remember, in the first episode we already removed the standard roof of the van to install thermal insulation plates and place the vapor barrier. The result of that installation is what you see now on the ceiling. Although it hasn't caused any problems, to gain a few extra centimeters we are going to remove the insulating material plates, leaving only the vapor barrier. I am going to repurpose scraps from other woodworking projects to use as a support that the new boot ceiling would be screwed onto. Doing this way, I avoid damaging the structure of the van, screwing the roof onto these wooden supports that will be glued to the metal roof of the van with spray glue. Do you remember the second episode where we carpeted the metal walls and the doors of the van with grey fabric so there was no white metal exposed? As we did then, and using pieces of the same material that was left over from making the walls and the doors, I am now also going to carpet the metal bars that go through the roof of the van. Above the rear seats, there's a light that illuminates them. I wanted to be able to keep it on the new roof I'm doing. Using the metal support to which is screwed as a template, I made a hole in the wooden plank on which it will be now installed. After some trial and error, I realized that the easiest thing to do would be to make a hole in the shape of the light and glue some thinner pieces of wood on top to screw it into. Once all the wooden planks were cut and adjusted to their proper size, all that remained was to screw them into the wooden support pieces that had previously been glued to the metal roof of the van. Here you can see how the new roof looks once installed. Finally, the last thing left to do was to screw the rear center belt support back on. So that it would not bother when sitting on the sofa, I cut off the end where the old ceiling was screwed on.